Good morning.
Morning.
I'm very excited about today's Q&A.
Yes, it's going to be good.
It's going to be good because we received a lot of questions, but not one question is the same as when we did a Q&A about 12 months ago.
That's right.
It's really good. So 12 months, and a lot of people are still following us from then. So it's not going to be boring for you today. It's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be good because it's going to be good because they asked some really good questions, really interesting. So, and they're not about us, which is really good. So I'm very excited about that, but I'm not so excited that it's still raining.
No, it's been terrible the last 3 or 4 days. We had a huge event in February and it's happening again, which is everyone's saying it's unheard of in May, this amount of rain. But with Maloney, how much
in Maloney, they copped about 440 millimetres in 24 hours up to yesterday. And
they're not far from us. So, the rain has just been relentless, non-stop. It mightn't look it, but this is actually light compared to what we've had, and hopefully it'll clear up today, end of today.
So it's Saturday morning. We're very late getting this out. We do have some good excuses, though.
Well, rain.
With all the rain. We lost power yesterday for a few hours. But that's okay. For 1 minute then we thought we were going to have a frozen emergency dinner without heating it up because we've actually been, pretty much the roads have been locked blocked out for a week. So we're eating through our pantry and our freezer and our fridge, and we have no bread left. But that's okay because Paul made this delicious banana bread, like a low-fat version, and it's really nice. So thank you. That's so nice. And we've been eating interesting things, when you get a bit desperate, like 2-minute noodle frittata.
Frittata, yeah.
And we found that recipe online, and a few other things. So that's been good. But we'll make it a little bit more interesting today. We're going to answer all your questions. Every person who sent a question, we're going to answer it for you. But we're going to move around the property a bit, give you a little bit different scenery after every few questions. How does that sound? Okay, I won't ask you any questions because you're eating that delicious banana bread. So we won't hold up anymore. Let's get into it because they are really good questions. And the first one comes from Imogen. Hi, Imogen. Let's see. Imogen asks, if you could choose between the beach and the bush, where would you choose and why?
Good question. We love both, don't we?
We do love both.
We're here in the bush, but it's not that far from the beach, really. And that's probably one of the things that I really love about, a lot of Eastern, in Eastern Australia, or if you live anywhere near the coast in Australia, is you're never far from the beach anyway, are you? That's right, yeah.
And we chose here to live because it's in the bush and because it is in a remote area. And although we loved living very close to the beach, we were 4 kilometres before when the children were young, and it was only, we were 4 kilometres from Mooloolaba Beach.
Right,
That was very convenient when you've got a family because you have all the schools and facilities and everything. That's great. But as we've got older, we really like feeling close to nature, and we kind of like being isolated and the remoteness. And when you're part of a little community like this one, it's really ideal for us. So you don't really need to choose between the beach or the bush when you live in Australia. You can have both. The next question comes from TK, also known as the Meatball, who writes, if I plan to go to Australia, as a foreigner, what should I bring and what shouldn't I bring?
Well, first thing that comes to mind, plenty of sunblock. What do you think?
That's a cop-out. That's an easy answer.
Yeah,
isn't it?
That's the first thing.
I guess it depends on what season and where you're going to live or where you're going to travel, doesn't it? Because in winter, there's parts of Australia that are very cold and have snow. So I would say make sure you bring a camera because Australia has beautiful scenery, don't you think? A camera is a fantastic idea. Make sure, bring clothes that are suitable for our climate, depending on the time of year and where you're travelling to. What else do you think that they would need?
Just an open mind, open approach.
Open mind.
Australians are, in general, pretty friendly people.
Sense of humour.
Sense of humour,
Yeah, they have a good sense of humour. I was going to say first.
First? Wow,
Well, not for us, but, like Australians kind of have a reputation as being good beer drinkers, don't they?
Well, if you like a beer, yeah.
If you like a beer.
You'll fit in well.
Yeah, you'll fit in well. But, so we hope that gives you some idea on what to bring to Australia. It's not like other countries where it's difficult to exchange currency. You can literally arrive at the airport here and take money out. There are plenty of ATM foreign exchange places at the airports in Australia, so you don't have to worry about things like that. And I guess if English is a second language to you, it might be really good to bring a little English pocket dictionary or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But like I said, communications here are pretty good, transport's pretty good, all that sort of thing. So, like I said earlier, bring an open mind, bring a preparation to really enjoy yourself, and you'll have a great time.
You'll have the best holiday. Let's see. The next one is, I'm thinking, this is from Ali, and Ali writes, I'm thinking of moving to Brisbane for university next year. Good on you, Ali. I think Australia's a great place to study, isn't it? We have some beautiful universities.
Yep.
I'm an Australian living overseas, but I've never been to Brisbane. What would you say are the best and the worst parts of living in Brisbane? Thanks for another great video. Okay, so the best parts of living in Brisbane.
Yep. Well, Brisbane's a great, it's a modern city now. It's reasonably compact. Public transport's pretty good. There's got a great bus network. Trains are okay too.
Actually, that's on the improve. When I think of Brisbane, that's probably the only negative that I thought of. That they're very reliant on buses, but the bus system does work very well. Yeah. But they are now working on an underground, under-river rail system, and it's going to improve things so much more.
Yeah, that's right.
But Brisbane just has so much to offer. It has a beautiful climate, a great outdoors lifestyle. People are really friendly. It's a wonderful place to live. And as Paul said, everything's so compact, which makes it really easy. If you don't have if you don't have a car, it's not really a problem in Brisbane.
No,
because you can. It's a very walkable city, isn't it?
Yeah, within a certain area. If you're talking about CBD and inner suburbs, it is.
And they have the ferry system on the river. Yeah, it's a beautiful city. So I can't really think. The only negatives would be maybe the public transport, which is about to be improved.
Yeah, that's right. And for people not from the south of Australia or whatever, cooler climates, the summers can be quite hot and humid. But we came from down south, and the first summer was pretty brutal, but after that we just acclimatised, and it's great.
That's true. Some people never really acclimatise to that heat and that humidity in summer.
No.
But that would be anywhere in Queensland.
Yeah, that's right.
Really.
Yeah.
Okay, good question. Good banana bread. Really good.
If I say so myself.
Okay, I love this question. This one's from Intrepid Nurse.
Hey.
Hello, Intrepid Nurse, who has been watching us since probably the very beginning. How has the Sunshine Coast changed since before the height of the pandemic? Have you experienced any negatives from sharing on YouTube? And if so, how have you dealt with that? See, aren't they good questions? I read these questions and I thought these are really good questions. Because they're the questions that I kind of think of too. And how did you first start sharing on YouTube? I have lots of content, but I'm so nervous about starting. So the first one about how the Sunshine Coast has changed.
Since before the pandemic, it's changed. The population is increasing rapidly because a lot of people from down south have moved up. They were locked down a lot worse than it was in Queensland, and they desperately wanted a new lifestyle, so they're moving up, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that has impacted the traffic. And it's also really impacted house prices, which are impacted everywhere. But Sunshine Coast
went through the roof.
Has gone through the roof. Some areas like Doonan Doonan, which is in the Noosa hinterland, has experienced an increase of up to 300% on the price of properties. So horrendous increases in the prices. So they're probably the most noticeable ones. We notice a lot more traffic. And the houses have gone up everywhere, but apparently Sunshine Coast is leading now because the demand is still, quite strong. The other questions that about have we experienced any negatives from sharing on YouTube?
Not really.
No, we haven't.
No.
We've been really lucky. And I guess this kind of goes into the next question about how did you first start sharing. I have lots of content, but I'm so nervous about starting. I love this question. The negatives, we haven't really experienced any negatives from sharing really. On YouTube.
It's all been pretty positive.
It has been positive.
We know, I've heard of other YouTubers who have had some, a lot of trolls or, things like that. But
we've been really lucky. We haven't had any personal, like, nasty remarks or things like that. People don't always agree, or they might give us a different take on an area that we visited.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is normal. But, we haven't had to worry about that. And then that last part, how did you start sharing lots of content but so nervous? This is a really good question because we started this from, we were going to vlog our trip to Hanoi when Paul retired a couple of years ago.
In
Vietnam, and that's how it started. And then we came back, we were in quarantine for a couple of weeks, and we thought we'd make a couple of videos. And then we thought, we live in a beautiful area. When we returned home, we should do a couple more. And it kind of evolved, and it's very much become a hobby, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
Something that we do together, fills in a bit of time. But it's something we've become really quite passionate about.
Yeah, look, it's great. Like you said, it's a beautiful area, and we really wanted to explore this area. And that's what we've done, And we hope that people love what we're doing,
But intrepid nurse, when we first started, we got very nervous in front of the camera. And if we're out in public and Paul's filming me and people walk past, I get very self-conscious about that. We never set out to make this the Beth and Paul channel or look at me. I mean, look, I don't even wear makeup. I wear the clothes that I wear around the house. You probably saw this shirt on in the Vietnam video. I've had it a couple of years at least. So if the channel, if it was about us, we would be a lot more self-conscious. But we're not. We feel very lucky where we live, and we like sharing that with people. Everybody does something for a payback. And for us, having people like Intrepid Nurse, who I'm pretty sure was over in London and in lockdown, and that's how she found us. We helped to pass the time away watching videos of back home in Australia, a couple of years ago. So people have found us, expats have found us, people wanting to study or move to Australia have found us, and seeing that they have this journey that keeps evolving, and then they come here and then they send us a message and they tell us, oh look, we've come here and we've visited some of the places. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's the payoff for us.
That's the payoff for us. So we really enjoy it. We're very, very lucky because we have such a friendly, supportive little community.
Yeah, that's the main thing, I think.
I think so. And for some people, maybe they just like to see a little bit of Australian culture, Australian life.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
So I hope we answered that question, but that's where we're kind of coming from. Okay, so it's me, Molly Emily, asked us, how is your pool build going? Could we have an update and see the progress? And would you ever attempt to go overseas again? And it's me, Molly Emily. The pool progress is a little bit slow because of all the rain we've had this year. The tilers have started tiling. We still have the pebble mix to line, all the waterproofing membrane to be done, the glass fencing along the balcony and around part of the outside, and then the final connection of the plumbing and the electricals. Doesn't look so glamorous right now, but we're happy for you to have a look. I really like, can you see this blue waterline tile? I really like it. I'm really happy with that. It's called Blue Ice. It's pretty, isn't it? Okay, and would we attempt to go overseas again?
Certainly,
Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking about it. We would probably go back to Vietnam and just redo the trip we were going to do, wouldn't we?
We would, next year we're starting to look at it. Organise it.
Keep you posted.
We'll
Be very exciting. Sammy Bear asked a question, and I did respond to you during the week, so I won't go over the whole thing again, but it was a question about Noosa National Park. And Noosa National Park is such a beautiful walk. And there's a few walks in there, and the main really big walk is really spectacular, isn't it? And it has beautiful fairy pools, and all that information is in my response, Sammy Bear, which I know that you've read because you responded to my response. The next question is from Werner Bachman, and Werner asked, what made you move from Brisbane to the hinterland, since it looked like you were enjoying the city and the towns around? How far is your next town? Did you rent the house you live in, or did you buy it? cheers, weren't I? So what made us move from Brisbane to the hinterland?
Well, we'd always liked the Sunshine Coast, and when I retired, we decided, and even though we did love living in Brisbane, we decided this is the sort of lifestyle we're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess, like, we love Brisbane, don't get us wrong, we love Brisbane.
Yep.
But when you're no longer working there, you know, we didn't have to live in Brisbane to enjoy Brisbane.
No.
We only live about maybe an hour and a quarter, an hour and 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So we're not that far away. It's about, I don't know, 100 kilometres or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're not that far away that we can still enjoy Brisbane. But we like the lifestyle in the hinterland. We love living on acreage. We love having our chooks and our bees. And we love being able to go and visit the popular Sunshine Coast beaches.
Yep.
And enjoy all of that, or Brisbane, but then to be able to come back here to the quiet and being surrounded by nature.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we love.
The nearest town would be Maleny.
Yeah, the nearest town would be Maleny to us.
Which is about 15, 16 minutes from us.
Yeah, and that's where we do our food shopping. You can grab coffee. There's plenty of doctors there. They have a little hospital there. They really have good facilities, library, all sorts of things. So Maleny's a very pretty town. Definitely worth a visit if you're driving through and looking around at the Sunshine Coast hinterland. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We have beautiful scenery where we live, don't we?
We do, yeah.
And the last one, did you rent this house or buy it? And yes, we bought this house. There's actually not a lot of rentals in this area, and there is a short supply of rentals everywhere at the moment, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
So a lot, I would say probably, you know, that's one thing that Australians put a lot of focus on during their lifetime, I guess, or one of their big goals is to own their own house. And so yeah, we're lucky. And also houses out here are a lot cheaper than houses, you know, a comparable house.
On the coast or in the city.
Yeah, absolutely. It's me, Molly Emily, asked another question. Who edits the videos?
Oh, right, yeah. Well, both of us.
Yeah. That's something we both do together.
Yep.
Paul normally does the first edit.
Yep.
And then shows it to me, and then I go through and I really kind of chop it up.
Tighten it up.
Tighten it up, yeah.
Add the music and...
Yeah, add the music, and that's how we do it. It's very much a collaborative, that's a good word, isn't it? A collaborative approach.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And Harriet and Jim from Costa's World of Music Memories.
G'day, Harry and Jim.
Yeah, in Virginia. Hello. Let's see, they asked us if we're planning to travel internationally now that things are open. Yep. And as we said, yes we are, but maybe...
Next year.
Yeah, next year. We'll give it a few more months.
Things are still, uncertain, so we'll wait till next year.
And would you ever consider touring with another couple to a destination that you and another couple could agree?
Well, we have. With your sister.
Oh yeah, we did too. Yeah, we went to France and Italy with my sister.
And brother-in-law.
Yeah, we did too in 2012.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really
fun.
good.
Yeah, it was fun. So we have done it. Yeah.
It just depends on how long you go for, doesn't it? Because like everybody can be on their best behaviour for about 2 weeks, and then the little niggly annoying things come in, don't they?
Yeah, I was probably driving them nuts in there.
No, I probably was. Let's see, next question. Entropy Spin.
Oh, yeah.
Have I said that correctly?
Yep.
Entropy? Yeah, Entropy Spin, who regularly comments.
Yep.
Hello. Just mentioned that that when it's raining it would be great to get a composite of how it was over the few days, and we are putting together just little glimpses of it.
We did bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It was mainly just heavy rain.
Really limited where we were because we can't travel.
Can't get out, no.
Yeah, and the road is flooded at the front of our property, so we couldn't get very far.
No.
But you'll get little glimpses of around our place.
Yeah, but we're safe.
Yeah, we're safe and sound, yeah. Okay, Finlay Davies asks a really good question. I was just wondering, money set aside, including your own place, where would either of you choose to live on the Sunshine Coast and why? Where would you live? If money was no object, whereabouts on the Sunshine Coast would you live?
Not sure. It's got very crowded down there, so I'm not sure I'd live down on the coast itself.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, because if you'd have asked us 12 months, 2 years ago especially, we probably would have said Noosa hinterland. And like, we love Noosaville, but that's very expensive and it's very busy. But we were really looking around Variadale, Timbiawar, Doonan, weren't we? Pomona, those areas. But they have we watched the prices grow. They became very expensive very quickly.
Yeah.
And as a local, it's kind of hard when you know what the prices were before. It's very difficult to digest increases of a couple of 100% in some cases. And in fact, some houses that we saw and we were considering buying at 700,000, sold for 1 million, 1.1, and now have sold again for 1.5. Yeah. People are just cashing in and just profiteering from it. Yeah. So that's probably what. But Finlay says, forget about the money. Where would you live?
Noosa, up at Noosa Way. Like I said though, it's all got very crowded. But there's some beautiful spots there. The Sunshine Beach. Is probably the most expensive part of the coast.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, Sunshine Beach and Sunrise Beach as well.
Sunrise Beach,
Yeah.
They're very nice. They're beautiful.
They are beautiful, but
too crowded for my liking.
Yeah. So money set aside, where would you go?
Well, I've said mine. What about you?
Honestly, it would have to be somewhere in the hinterland. I'm really happy here.
Oh yeah, I am too.
So it's a really tricky one because sometimes money just doesn't come into it,
No.
And for us, this was very much a lifestyle decision.
Yeah.
Wasn't an investment decision.
No.
This house was going to more than adequately meet our needs, and we love just having an acre. It's enough work for us to do. And where it's enjoyable, and it's more enjoyable than work.
Yeah.
We love having our chooks and our bees, and our dog can run around. And now we're getting beautiful neighbours. So lucky with our neighbours. And having the pool built would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're really lucky, and it's a really difficult question. I suppose somewhere with spectacular ocean views would be nice.
Well, if money was no question, you go somewhere up high. There was some absolutely magnificent houses, overlooking, but they're all up and down the coast, not just in one particular spot.
Yeah. So, there are so many beautiful places all around the Sunshine Coast, the beach area, the hinterland. It's a really tricky one.
Yeah.
But
I'm happy where we are.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
Like I said, there's some beautiful places in Noosa, Sunshine Beach.
Yeah, beautiful. Yamundi's really pretty. We love Pomona.
Yeah,
that's a really beautiful area. And I guess it just comes down to if the house was, is kind of, what you wanted or whatever. But that's a really good question.
Yeah.
But I guess we're really, regardless of money, we really like it out here.
Yeah.
And the number one thing for us, and this wouldn't be for everyone, because some people really need to be close to work or facilities or whatever.
We've got the luxury,
we have that luxury of not having to think of those things. Yeah. We're just thinking of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we really like the isolation. We like being part of this tiny little community where we live. This community gets together in a local hall regularly and has a cup of coffee together and a chat, and it's just such a friendly, lovely thing. And we just love the lifestyle that we have here. And we wouldn't change it for the world. We don't have to pay a heap in petrol because we've got an electric car, so that's really good. And the car is powered by solar, so that's even better. So so we're really lucky. But great question, Finlay, I've got to say. So Oscar Victor Cordo asked how far we were when we were doing the Noosa video, and so Noosa.
Couple of hours?
Yeah, a couple of hours drive from Brisbane, straight up the Bruce Highway.
Yep.
So that's how long it would take you. Kilometre-wise, I don't know off the top of my head, but that 2 hours drive would be plenty, and that would get you to Brisbane from Noosa, get you Brisbane, Noosa, Julie. Hey Julie, I know you regularly comment on our videos, so thank you so much, and I know you've also been watching for a long time. Let's see, our question would be, generally speaking, which 2 months of the year would you say were the best for visiting Brisbane and southeast Queensland for blue skies and bright sunny days?
Well, I think, and people differ, but I think any time from July through to the end of September is the best. That's 3 months, I know, but they're great. Great time, plenty of sun.
Yeah, plenty of sun.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I love swimming, anything.
Yeah.
So if I want to have a swim, I would say from mid-September to maybe middle of November, and that's just before it starts to feel a little bit of humidity and wet weather. But they would be the best times to come. Our winter generally is just beautiful.
Yep.
It's dry, blue sunny skies.
Calm days, yeah.
Yeah. What we're experiencing right now is really extraordinary for this time of year.
That is.
Isn't it?
It's unheard of.
Yeah, unheard of.
Yeah.
We should move another spot so you don't get bored. We're nearly finished. Do you want to move to another spot?
I don't know where.
Where's the chickens?
Oh,
do you want to say hello to the chickens? Yeah, chook, 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 chook. Hello, girls. Someone's going to come up. Oh, look how wet you are. All right, we're going all out now so that you can see some of the flooding. Jacqueline Bishop. Jacqueline, how are you? And Chris, thank you for always watching our videos and for always commenting. Let's see. And checking up on us too. We do really appreciate that. And we did get our power back after a few hours, so that was really good. Let's see. With travels coming up, we'll be going back to Vietnam to finish your trip. Yeah, we've pretty much answered that. Our next trip, we think it will definitely be Vietnam, and we're hoping for the first half of next year. That's what we're kind of planning on. So watch out for that. And we're very excited. We're just kind of starting the planning process now. One viewer, Ying, and I have responded to you, Ying, asked all about things that you can do in the Sunshine Coast when it's rainy like this. And waterfalls are a great thing. Go look at a waterfall because there's so many beautiful waterfalls in the Sunshine Coast hinterland. And it's kind of raining a bit heavy now, isn't it, to do this? Thanks. And so waterfalls are a great thing to do. We have great wineries, galleries, day spas, waterfront restaurants where you can still get a great view. You can go on a fantastic drive along the David Low Way and see spectacular scenery of the Sunshine Coast. So hopefully there's a few things for you. Tinky Baker asked whether snakes are attracted by our chickens. And we have seen snakes in the garden, but that comes with living in the country, so that's fine. If we leave the snakes alone, they leave us alone, so that's good. Snakes are more attracted to eggs than chickens, so we clear our eggs every day. Our coop is always secured. The chickens are allowed to free range, but quite often the dog's outside with them, so we haven't had any issues yet, so fingers crossed it stays like that. Lucy Gosling also asked if we're planning to resume our overseas trip that was originally planned before the pandemic, and yes we are, Lucy, and we hope that's going to happen in the first half of next year, so you have to watch out for that one. Let's see, Ivy in the Philippines. Hi Ivy, has a question for us and asks, which suburb do we think is cheaper to live in and how's the culture in the office when working with Australians? Are there any tips on do's and don'ts? Thank you so much. I did already answer this one online, but it's kind of might be helpful for other people about cheaper suburbs. I guess like most capital cities, the further out from the CBD, the cheaper it will get. And we've lived on the south side of Brisbane, so our house was in Fairfield before, which was about 4 kilometres from Brisbane, and you could walk into the city where we lived. But you can go only a few kilometres out further from there, and you know, as you keep going out, it gets cheaper and cheaper, and there's very good transport. It has great train system and bus system going through there, so we know that pretty well. Same with the north side. You know, anywhere, if you move out a little bit further, you hopefully find something that's a bit more economical for you. And what about the Australian office culture?
Well, in my experience in Melbourne and in Brisbane, Australians are, like I might have said before, very easygoing, laid back, friendly. Like anywhere, you'll have some people that aren't to your liking, but in general, the office culture is very, very good.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I think we have pretty good working conditions, so that helps with that.
Yep.
Australia's a very multicultural country,
yep.
And Ivy comes from the Philippines.
Yep.
And let's see, our country was built on migration.
Yeah, sure was.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
And we love food from the Philippines.
Yes.
So we hope you move here.
Yes.
And we hope we bump into you one day and you can cook us one of those nice fruit flans or something. And then Ivy also asked about whether there were any do's and don'ts in the Australian office culture.
Oh, right.
And I don't think there's any do's or don'ts. I think just be yourself, and and Australians are very, I don't know, what would you say?
Easygoing.
Easygoing, yeah. Chilled, easygoing. Yep. I'm sure you should have no problems. There's nothing specifically that you should do or not do.
Just assume the normal office protocols, you know. Do your job, do your work, interact with people on a friendly basis, and you'll be fine.
Okay, we're back where we started.
Yep.
A little bit wet. but that's okay.
Yeah.
Rob and Ellie's big day out. Hello.
Hey.
And they were just asking the same question about when we're thinking of doing a long holiday in Vietnam. Oh no, they're actually talking about doing a long holiday in Vietnam for
themselves.
their big birthdays.
Right.
Yeah. And they were asking if we were planning to go back. So we have answered that question, but we didn't want people to miss out on hearing their questions.
No.
So yes, we are planning. Hopefully Vietnam will be the #1 country. We'd like to really redo that trip. Okay, so do it yourself. Hi ladies,
Hey.
That is a mother and daughter pair that have their own YouTube channel, which is really good, a very positive channel, and their name's Garda, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Shahid or Shad.
Hey.
So their question is about, you know, they talk about have you ever travelled all over Australia in a van or something? If not, would you do it? Because, you know, a lot of people at the moment with the pandemic, they were all doing up vans and
caravan sales went through the roof.
Yeah, but even like, you know, those vans like little Mercedes-Benz vans and things like that, people were doing them up, aren't they? And they're driving around Australia or driving around America.
Yeah.
And no, we probably wouldn't.
No.
We probably wouldn't.
We know friends who've done it and they loved it.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody.
No.
Yeah.
And look, we wouldn't do caravanning because we can't tow with the car that we've got, and we've never done that before. That's something that's completely alien to us, I guess. We have been camping lots when we were young, so we kind of feel like we've done a lot of that. As far as doing up a van and travelling around, when I say no, we wouldn't do it. If we didn't have bees and chickens and the dog and everything, probably might be something we would consider.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest thing for us is to work out what we're going to do with this place when we go away. So we need to organise a really reliable, competent house sitter, and that's a massive challenge. We did organise a house sitter last year, and in some ways we were kind of,
well, we were lucky we came back early in many respects.
Yeah, because that person left early, left the dog on their own, left the house a mess, and it was a disappointing experience for us. So better luck next time. And this is the lucky last question. So we really hope that we've included all the questions that people have sent us, and we've left it right till Saturday morning to do this video, trying to make sure that anyone who had a question could have it answered today. So this is from Elodie and Andrew, and I did answer it online, this one, because they're coming on holidays this week and wanted to know about things they could do in the Sunshine Coast when it's wet. And so I did talk about in my response, I talked about going to Gardeners Falls in Mullaney, Condalilla Falls also, that's in Mapleton, Mary Cairncross Scenic Reserve, that's in Mullaney. That has a beautiful canopy of trees where if it was this heavy, the rain, you probably would still be dry. Just be good, reasonably dry. Yeah, but it's pretty good there, isn't it?
At the moment it's fairly
and they have an interactive indoor display, and they have a fantastic cafe at Mary Cairncross and spectacular views. So Mary Cairncross Park in Mullaney in the hinterland, definitely recommend that. There's a gin distillery up at Pomona. That's a good way to while away a few hours, isn't there?
Yeah.
And Yamundi has a fantastic pub, the Imperial, where you can perch yourself up on a high Queenslander and look down at Yamundi markets and the really pretty little town of Yamundi. I mean, there's lots of places you can go for a nice drive. We always think that David Lowe Drive, coming from Noosa, following the coast down, is a beautiful drive. Hopefully you'll still find plenty of things to do. Ideally, you come to the Sunshine Coast and the sun's shining, but that's not always possible, is it? Okay, so that really wraps up our Q&A session today. And thank you so much to everyone that's sending questions. We thought the questions were fantastic, and we hope that you all got something out of them. Yeah.
And hopefully next week when we do another video, it'll see a bit of sun.
Yeah. So hopefully the rain seems to have eased off a little bit, so we're really hoping that we'll be able to go shopping maybe tomorrow and get some food.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Otherwise we'll be eating a lot of eggs. Okay, so I just want to tell a funny story.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know what it is? No, okay. So in the past week or so, we've received deliveries for the pool, and this week a delivery guy came up and they just drive up the driveway and they drop off the pool stuff. And so we've had several deliveries. So this one was no different. Truck comes up, goes up by the pool, the driveway, and then I hear it, and I just come out to see if they need me for anything, because Paul and Matthew were out the back gardening. So I walked out on the balcony and I said to the guy, "Oh, you don't need me for anything?" He gets out of his truck and he says, "Beth." And I'm looking at him and I don't recognise him. And you know, a million thoughts go through your head. I'm thinking, old boyfriend? No.
Oh, jeez.
Too young for that. I'm trying to think where I might have known, you know, did I used to work with you, you know, all these kind of things, you know, and quickly I'm thinking, because clearly he remembers me, but I had no clue of him. And it turns out, like, he was smiling and he's looking at me, and then he said, "I watch your YouTube videos." So we wanted to give a special shout out to Clint. Thank you, Clint, for delivering those things this week, and hello to Betty and your 2 gorgeous twin girls. And I know that because Clint showed us a photo, and they're pretty gorgeous. And thank you so much, and thank you for watching our videos, and we really appreciate that. So time to go and dry off inside, but thank you for watching our video.
Thanks everyone.
Yep, take care.
See ya.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.